Okay, let's go ahead and talk about this cheat, because not like everyone's talked about it so far and I haven't talked about it yet. So let's just talk about this real quick. So first things first, I have 0 sales. You have 0 sales, but you're trusted. Brand's trusted. So I know everybody has been doing videos on this cheat. I've seen this video multiple times, but I know everyone's been doing videos on this cheat. I just haven't done this yet either. There's like 14 clips of this one dude. I know. Trust me, I know. Trust me, I know. This guy was like insane, like cheating like crazy, like all tournament. It was insane. Anyways, this guy, notice the way that he does this, right? And he was doing this all tournament. All tournament he was cheating. He was doing exactly this. And he was doing all kinds of different ways to do it as well too, but this is just one of them. And this is the most like important one, because the way that he was doing it was really standing out. Don't get me wrong, like it was smooth, but it was all really standing out, right? So first things first, he notices that he has Valor at the bottom of his deck, right? So he notices he has Valor at the bottom of his deck, and he has 2 cards in his hand. What you'll notice a lot, right, is that he'll basically drop the card. Notice that he drops the card to put the card back, which I believe was Drone Lockbird. He puts the card back, and then he does this motion right here, where he reaches out to touch his opponent's card. Cheaters do this all of the time. It's the quickest misdirection sleight of hand that magicians use as well too, when they're doing like a trick to show you like a magic trick and stuff like that. It's the exact same like sleight of hand misdirection that they all use. They all do stuff like this. They'll do something real fast, so whatever the cheat is, it's quick, it's smooth, it's fast. They put it back in, and then they'll do something at the same time to be able to distract you from what you're looking at, right? So obviously he's choosing a card from his hand or whatever like that, or he's choosing a card from his grave or whatever the fuck he's doing here. I don't know what the fuck he's resolving here, to be honest. But in the middle of it, he reaches out to grab, so that way he masks the cheat real fast. Reaches out to grab. Keep an eye out for this shit, dude, because guys, people always do this. They always do this. Who distracts after the deed is already done? He was basically trying to just do the distraction at the same time, right? So he said, drop boom touch. You see what I mean? It's quick action, distract. Quick action. Oh, what did you add? All the time. Real quick action. What's in your grave? Quick action. How many cards in your hand? Oh, so annoying, bro. So annoying. And you always have to watch out for this shit. Just notice, like, if you go back, right? Valor, looking at cards, boom, drop, put, touch. Telling his opponent to confirm and add red MD. Don't really. I'm doing nothing. I just add red MD. A few watches to notice. Yeah, it takes a second to really like pick up what they're doing, but they're too good at it, dude. Some people are just too good at it. And this guy was quick with it. Like, he was real fast. He was like, let me see. Like, oh, dude, so lame, dude. He was stacking his deck in his opponent's decks. This guy was on one. Yeah, no, he literally, there's also clips as well too. If you guys can find those clips, I'll open those too. He also has clips of him like fake shuffling as well too. Fake shuffling. CJ, I'll play it. I'll play it again, CJ. Notice how fast he... Real quick, right? Like, why is he putting Valor? Like, why is he even moving a card from his deck? Yeah, that's false shuffling. That's just false shuffling. Anyways, just notice, like, why is he exit full screen? Okay, for sure. Holding the card the whole time on some TF shit. Literally, dude. Like, why is he even putting a card from his deck anywhere in his deck onto the bottom of his deck in general? Like, it's like, dude, like little things like this you have to catch. Like, you have to catch little things like this. It just sucks because, like, it's hard to call people out on it. Like, it's very hard to call people out on it because you have to see the full action. Like, you have to catch them red-handed. Otherwise, 90% of the time, it's just like, oh, I had this card right here. What do you mean? What do you mean? This card was in my hand the whole time. Like, you can get DQ'd because you're trying to look at someone's hand. You know what I mean? When it's like, bro, he was stacking me. Like, I watched him do it. And then it becomes like his word versus the judge's word. You know what I mean? Or this guy's word versus the judge's word, because the judge is going to come over and one guy's going to be like, oh, he did this. And the other guy's going to be like, no, I didn't do that. And then the judge has to be like, okay, well, I'll just give you guys both a warning. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, I don't know who the fuck's telling the truth. Who the fuck is lying here? Like, I have to give both of you guys a warning. Right? It's so hard. It's just annoying. It's just hard to catch. And it's really fucking annoying. If I catch this, do I have the green light to swing? To be fair, I feel like in Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments, you always have the green light to swing. But that's a different story. We ain't ready for that topic. There's been all kinds of fights at YCSs and all kinds of tournaments that we've been to. But yeah, but like, you know who does a really good job of like deterring stuff like this? I feel like players who are very aggressive. So people like Eder, like for example, like Eder, who's like very quick and like always rushing his opponent and always pushing his opponent like to make a play, and like, you know, like being very, very intent and like poker facing them, very intently aggressive and just like rushing people. Like I feel like that play style just works really well against cheaters, right? Intimidate them. Because most like a good cheater won't be intimidated, right? But most of the time you intimidate people into showing them like, bro, you are not gonna cheat on me, I'm gonna fucking catch you. You know what I mean? Like you have to, like I've noticed in my years of playing Yu-Gi-Oh, a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh is literally pure personality versus personality. Like that's like mental versus mental is like half the battle, bro. Like if you're showing them to your persona that I know my deck, I am confident in my deck, and your confidence is just like oozing out of you when you're playing against someone, dude, 90% of the time they'll make a mistake. They'll either mess up, they won't play correctly, they'll fuck up something, you know what I mean? Just like the way that you ooze your confidence, like it'll throw off your opponent, like it'll scare them. You know what I mean? So because a lot of people, they don't have the tournament experience that other Yu-Gi-Oh players do. So the ones who have a lot of tournament like Yu-Gi-Oh players, like they'll go in. Mine is playing fast. Brian, you kind of do it too. You're not mean about it. Like you're not mean. Like you're just a really nice guy. Like you're not aggressive. But you kind of do it too because of the way that you play. Like you're very, very focused. You play very quickly, and you know exactly, you know, what your cards do. You know exactly what their cards do. Like yours is 20 times more genuine than like an actual, you know, someone who's trying to force a top level mentality on somebody. Like yours is way more genuine. Like you're just straight up like, oh, that's fine. Yeah, activate that is fine. Like I know where this is going. You know what I mean? But when you're doing stuff like that, like yeah, it makes them fold. Just like Renzo said, it makes them fold. Literally. Have you caught someone and what happened? We were just talking about this, right? And now that Eder's in the chat, we can talk about this. Eder, the Sky Striker player, the package, that guy. He was stacking. He had to have been. There's no way. He was stacking throughout this whole tournament, right? Dude, had to be. There's no way, because he opened engage like every match. Drake got a couple heads in his butt. Hell yeah. I refuse to believe otherwise. He had engage every match, and Nick pointed out a very, very important thing. One, he disappeared in between rounds. In between rounds. Two, every time he cut his deck after he power shuffled, he didn't cut. He did this. It's hard for me to show on camera, but he did this, and he put it together in some weird way, like that. Put it together, and then he presented his deck sideways. Presented his deck to his opponent. Presented. 1-2 times per match. Exactly. 1 of engage, 1-2 times per match. But what Nick ended up doing, right, is Nick ended up playing him after round 1. He realized that he lost game 1. He lost game 1, and Nick goes, okay, let's see what this guy does when he shuffles. Does the power shuffle? Does the thing? Presents it to Nick. Nick takes his deck, full shuffles that bitch. Whole ass. Full shuffles. Everything. Hands back. Guy shuffles his deck, does this again. For whatever reason. Hands it back to Nick. Nick shuffles. Full shuffles. Dead ass. In his face. Hands it back. Guy goes, cut. Literally asks Nick, cut. Like, cut my deck. Nick goes, I'll cut if you cut. The guy goes, cut my deck. Nick goes, I'll cut if you cut. So then guy hands back his deck, cuts his deck. Nick grabs the deck, does the same thing, cuts his deck for him. Nice and fair. Gives it back. Sure enough, he opens Celestial Future Destiny. And that's how you get a fucking cheater. That's how you catch a cheater. He did it respectfully. He did it in a way that like just showed him, just like, yeah, dude, like, come on. Just shuffle your deck normally. Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? And then you end up getting the dub after that. Proceeds to 2-0. The cheaters, man. Cheaters, man. They'll try it on you. It's just hard to catch, especially with the good ones. That's the scariest one.